Good day YouTube, welcome to another episode of Cryptolite. My name is Dan and today we'll be talking about the token Dragonchain. Dragonchain is a relatively young coin on the market. It was only released on December the 3rd of 2017, so it's less than 2.5 months old. But this coin has been very hyped and very talked about, and it's for two main reasons. The first reason is the price increase. When it was released on December the 3rd, its price was only 25 cents, but then within less than a month it rose to a high of $5.20. So we're talking about 21 times return, 21x return. That was massive. So that caught the attention of many people. Since then it had a natural correction that was maybe a little bit exaggerated by the bullish run that we had on the market as a whole, and it's currently sitting at the price of $2 USD. The second reason that Dragonchain has received a lot of hype is because it's known as the Disney coin. Now, this is actually a little bit of a misunderstanding. Dragonchain was originally developed at Disney's office in 2005 and 16, and it was the Disney's private blockchain platform on which to build other apps, and they did build up to 20 different applications on it. However, the platform was later released as open source software under the Apache 2 license in October of 2016. Now, the Dragonchain Foundation, a non-profit corporation, was created in January of 2017 to maintain ownership and responsibility of the open source code. So, where we are now is that Dragonchain actually is independent of Disney. But this is a common mistake. I've heard almost every YouTube person who talks about Dragonchain as linking it with Disney and talking about how it's so great that Disney has come in the blockchain picture and how great it is that Disney has so much money, so Dragonchain is going to surely succeed. But actually the two are not related anymore. And I think this is important, and the Dragonchain community has to be very careful about promoting it as the Disney coin, because one day the general crypto community is going to wake up and realize that Dragonchain is not actually linked to Disney, and there's going to be great disappointment. And at that point, there's the potential that people may drop the coin. That being said, even though it's not linked to Disney, Dragonchain is a solid project, and there are many good points about Dragonchain that I think we should educate the community so that people buy and hold the coin for the right reasons. And hopefully this video will educate us about some of the positive aspects of Dragonchain coin. Now, what is Dragonchain coin? Essentially, Dragonchain, the whole project, is to be a blockchain platform. Okay, it's a platform on which other blockchain projects can jump on and develop on them. It's pretty much like Ether, Neos, EOS, Stratis, Stellar. They are all blockchain platforms. The question we have to answer tonight is, what makes Dragonchain different or unique or better than the other blockchain platforms? After reading through quite a lot of information about Dragonchain, I've come up that the thing that makes Dragonchain unique from the other platforms are four things. The first is simplicity, the second is security, the third is scalability, and the fourth is their loyalty program. Let me go through each one of them. The first is simplicity. The way Dragonchain tries to make itself simple is firstly through its programming language. So Ethereum at the moment is the world's largest blockchain platform. It uses Solidity as the programming language for its smart contracts. It's not the most common programming language, and it makes it difficult for the average developers or coders to jump on board. Dragonchain aims to use more well-established programming languages like Java, Python, Node, C++, and this will make it a lot easier for other general developers to jump onto blockchain technology. The second aspect they introduced to try and make things simple is what is known as the incubator. Incubator is basically providing a team to help startup companies enter into the blockchain. If I was to give you an analogy, if I want to publish the book as an author, a platform is like a book publisher who will help me to provide the infrastructure to get a physical product out. In this case, we're talking about a technical product. Okay, a platform with an incubator is like a publisher that will not just publish my book. They will give me an editor, a mentor, a marketing director to help me to get my book out. So I get all the help I need. And this means that Dragonchain can target a very niche population of businesses that want to come into blockchain, but they don't have the technical expertise to do so. Dragonchain is basically saying we will provide the technical expertise to help you get started on your blockchain business. And this has been very well received, because in the interview with their CEO today, he reported that even though they're only 2.5 months into the market, they have received over 400 applicants for their incubator service. The third thing that Dragonchain offers to try and make building on their platform simple is the marketplace. Okay, and the marketplace has several features. One of the most important would be the library of smart contracts. Everything on the blockchain is run through smart contracts, and this would save a lot of time if you had a library. What this means is that if I want to do a particular activity, rather than coming up with the whole smart contract from scratch, what I could do, I could go to the library and find another the work of what another predecessor of mine had done on this platform, and I'll just borrow the entire smart contract and tweak it a little bit. It would save a lot of time and resources doing so. The other thing that they also offer is specialized experts. Let me explain what this means. So recently, Dragonchain partnered with a marketing company called Antonym. So imagine that if I, as a incubator consumer, comes on board and I need help with marketing. At the moment, all the work is done by blockchain team. But now that they're partnered with Antonym, they can either choose to do the work within their team, or they can say, look, this is Antonym, they are a trusted source for us, they can help you with the marketing as well. So then Antonym kind of takes the load off Dragonchain. So this is a win-win-win situation, because firstly, it takes the load off the Dragonchain team, but at the same time, it also allows them to build more relationships with more different companies, and it also allows them to accept more applicants into their incubator service. It's a win for companies like Antonym because it gives them business, and it's a win for the consumer because then it means that they can get help faster. Resources are more abundant. The problem with this model, which I haven't seen Dragonchain address yet, is the issue of quality control. So imagine that I come on board as a consumer for the incubator service, and I have 5 different specialists in marketing. So who do I choose from? Can all of them provide me the same level, the same quality of service? Most likely not. But now, is Dragonchain going to protect the companies that they have partnerships with, and then they allocate people to go to these companies based on who comes first, in such a way they can ensure that each of their partnership companies will get equal volume of work, so it's fair? Or will they protect the consumer by being very transparent and saying, this is our rating system, this guy is better than that guy, so you should go with this guy? So it's not clear how Dragonchain is going to address this issue. What is clear though is that they are trying to build their relationships and establish partnerships with more specialized experts. The second unique feature of Dragonchain as a platform is their security. Here, let's go over to their white paper, and if we scroll down, okay, the Dragonchain architecture provides 5 standardized levels of consensus to provide a spectrum of trust to consumers of data. The first is business verification, the second is enterprise verification, the third is network diversity verification, the fourth is external partner verification, and the fifth is public checkpoint verification. Basically, the take-home point of all of this is that you can keep some of your data, prioritized data, as kind of private on the Dragonchain blockchain. This is different from the general concept of blockchain. The whole concept of blockchain was that everything was going to be very open, everything's very transparent. So every transaction that you do on existing platform like Ether, for example, is registered on the blockchain and anyone can check it. So if it goes to court or something, that you cannot deny that I did the transaction because everything is open for everyone to see. But the problem is that some businesses will have very sensitive data. So for example, if you're talking about law firms or medical practices, they have to protect the details of their clients because it's privacy, confidentiality issues. So for, again, such a niche population, okay, they would be attracted to Dragonchain because of the level of privacy it offers to prioritize data. The third aspect of Dragonchain that makes it unique is the way it approaches scalability issues. Now, scalability is this buzzword when it comes to talking about platform, because Bitcoin struggled with scalability issues, and so Ether came in, and Ether is now struggling with scalability issues, and so you've got new platforms coming out, and the newer platforms are trying to be quicker and better, but more than that, they have to afford they have to be able to say that we're scalable, which means that as the volume of business grows on our platform, we can also increase our speed to keep up with the demand. So the way that Dragonchain is approaching the scalability issue is by doing what is called a serverless deployment. This is the first time I've heard of it, such a solution actually, but it seems to make sense. I'll read it out for you. With the commercial launch of Dragonchain, we are leveraging the architecture of the Dragonchain platform to provide a serverless blockchain platform for business use. Dragonchain's hybrid model allows the serverless approach because the smart contracts are executed in a traditional model and on a trusted node. A team can productively use the talents of traditional software engineer along with best practices developed to build a system whilst leveraging the capability of blockchain technology. How are they going to do it? And here it says, we will initially launch an Amazon Web Service with the entire system using Amazon Web Service Lambda services. And then here, in the future, we expect to port the system for deployment to Google App Engine and Apache OpenWhisk for internal data center deployment. So it's good to know that they got a plan to address scalability. Now, what you got to understand is that Dragonchain is on the Ether network as a ERC20 token. However, okay, the processing or transaction speed of the projects that they work on is not based on their speed working on the Ether platform, but rather based on whatever platform the project that they're working with is on. So their platform is designed to work with multiple currencies, so they can work with Bitcoin if a project is on Bitcoin blockchain, or if a coin is on Ether blockchain. They can work with multiple blockchains. However, going forward though, this is going to be present a problem for or potential problem for Dragonchain, because Ether is really struggling with scalability issues. So even if it doesn't affect their customers, it will affect them, which means that Dragonchain at some point, okay, if Ether doesn't manage to solve its scalability problem, Dragonchain should consider starting their own or moving on to a different platform which is faster. The fourth unique feature of Dragonchain is their Dragon Slumber Score. Okay, what is the Dragon Slumber Score? It's basically like a loyalty reward program where if you hold your Dragonchain in a private wallet, okay, and you don't use it, so you don't move it around, you just hold it there, for the number of days that the Dragon token has been held times your total balance, that will give you your Dragon Slumber Score. Okay, and what is it used for? The Dragon Slumber Score will provide things such as discount level, participation frame, and purchase limits in partner ICOs. One example, okay, is recently with their one of their their partner IPOs being released, Look Lateral, okay, and this is the kind of discount that they were giving. All right, so if you got more than 15 million Dragon Slumber Score, you could get a discount of 40%. And because it's multiplication by the time, okay, what this means is that if you got into Dragonchain early and you're holding the token, even though you don't have a large amount of token, but because the amount of time that you're holding it was very, very long, okay, so early holders of Dragonchain then get this exponential advantage in terms of buying the ICOs and stuff. Now, I have a little bit of concern with this. Okay, I'm not concerned with this project right now because I think they addressed it, but going forward, I think there could be a potential concern with this in terms of the ICO price itself, because this is pre-ICO. Now, I have an interest in buying ICOs, and one of the things I look for is what was the pre-ICO price. If the pre-ICO price, okay, is 40 or 50% cheaper than the ICO price, I get a little bit worried. I'm a bit hesitant to invest into the ICO price, because the ICO price, right? Once it's released on the exchange, it usually goes up about 2 or 3 times. So if someone's already buying the pre-ICO price at a 40 or 50% discount, what this this means, okay, is when the market opens and the price has this little jump, immediately they are already earning 4 to 6 times, all right, 400 to 600% of their initial investment. There is this great temptation then for people who have bought in the pre-ICO to sell. So why would I, as an investor, want to buy in the ICO? So then I guess the problem going forward is the danger of over rewarding your own people, okay, your own loyal Dragonchain holders, but at the sake of putting off the general public that they wouldn't want to buy the ICOs of your projects. In this case, I think that they did try to address it, okay, and you see this in the pre-sale allotment. So it's only 5%, all right, and out of 5%, if you look here, okay, this is like 20 million look tokens, of which only 2.5 million. So this is not even 10% of 5%. So it's like 0.5% maybe, or 0.4% of the total community tokens is being sold at such a low price. So I think they did address it in terms of capping the pre-sale allotment. But it's not uncommon for a pre-sale ICO to have a much larger volume, like 15%, 20%, even up to 25%. So I think going forward, it's just something that the Dragonchain team has to be very intentional about to make sure that the allocations are very fair. Okay, now that we know what Dragonchain is about, let's look at the team. I won't spend too much time on this, okay? The team looks solid, the resume looks solid. These are people who have been in their field of expertise for a long time, so they're mature, they're experienced, they're successful in what they do. A lot of them are from Disney, no surprise. Some of them are not, but regardless of wherever they come from, the team looks solid and does inspire confidence. Moving on to their roadmap, some interesting things here. So far, they've been following their roadmap pretty closely, and they've met the deadlines that they've set. So it inspires confidence that they are going to keep to their roadmap. Now let's look at March 2018. Okay, the launch of the commercial serverless platform on Amazon Web Service. So this is huge news because this was how they intend to run moving forward, and mainly, okay, because it will afford the scalability solution. April 2018, okay, reference proof of work implementation, smart contracts library. This is again huge, right? May 2018, commercial Heroku add-ons, and June 2018, commercialized dashboards and markets, which means basically from March to June, they've got a series of very consistent large announcements and updates on that is really going to create a lot of momentum for the project and likely the price of the coin as well. We are now in February 2018, right? Nothing like this has been announced to the public yet, but if they follow their roadmap, which so far they have been doing, we expect the news to come out in 2 to 6 weeks time. So I'm just thinking for myself, now doesn't seem like a bad time to jump in if I know that in the next few months, only good things seem to be happening for them. The other thing that might impact the roadmap in a positive way as well is that recently they've been building their development team. So I think they've added 3 developers in the last month, and also their marketing team is coming on board. I think their marketing hasn't been on full scale or even half scale recently, and the CEO admitted it today, but he says that they're going to start hard work soon, and a lot of news are going to be released. I assume is these news, so there's going to be a lot of things for the marketing team to work on, and we might see marketing for Dragonchain on a stage that is not been seen so far. So all of this means that they're going to be a very exciting second quarter for Dragonchain. Now, just before I move to price prediction, which is my last segment, I just want to talk about some of the things that I don't like about Dragonchain. There are 3 things that I'm not particularly very satisfied with Dragonchain at the moment. The first is actually in their roadmap. Their roadmap ends here at October 2018. You will imagine a project of this magnitude to have a bit more forward planning. You will expect a roadmap at least until the end of 2019. It doesn't even go to the end of 2018. So what happens after October 2018? It's a bit I don't think that the team doesn't have a plan. I just think they haven't updated the community, and I think they should update their roadmap. The second thing that I think is a bit skimpy on their end is actually their white paper. Okay, their white paper is only 15 pages long, but this is a rather complicated. Not complicated, but this is a rather big project, a platform with many different aspects to it. As a project of this size, you would expect a 40 to 60 page white paper at least. So 15 page is really skimpy. I'll give you an example of some of the details that I thought was lacking, right? So here they talk about their ecosystem, and they're talking about grant and funding for seed stage projects, dashboard visibility for marketplace, access to ecosystem, blah, blah, blah. Nice stuff here, right? But you scroll down and nothing, there's no details on any of these or how they plan to achieve it in their white paper. So I think the white paper is rather skimpy, right? The third thing that has been quite lacking for them, which has been reflected in their social media community, is that their work is not up on GitHub, right? So for those of us who follow coding and stuff, you know that a lot of the cryptocurrency projects, they upload their work onto GitHub, or they do their work on GitHub, so that the general community those who understand coding can go and check and see that the work was being done correctly and there was a good volume of work being done. But with Dragonchain, they do their work on a different reports, and so there's no work on GitHub. So technically speaking, if they wanted to be sneaky, they could have a month off on a holiday and we wouldn't know that they weren't doing any work because there's no way to check it. Obviously they won't do that, but they could, you see. So I guess what I'm unhappy here is that there's a certain level of lack of transparency between the company and the people. Actually, the fourth thing that I was a little bit concerned about, which I think I will mention here, is that under the incubator service, right, at the moment, there are 400 applicants. They don't have a very good description of their selection process. So do they accept all 400 applicants, or is there some sort of selection criteria for who can apply? It's not clear at the moment. Yeah, and even in the CEO interview today, he addressed it a couple of times, but it's a bit vague. And I think in a roundabout way, he also admitted that they don't really have a set or a good selection criteria for that at the moment. So these are some of the things that I don't like about the Dragonchain project, which I think they can improve. Doesn't take away from the fact that overall it is a solid project. Now I'm just going to come to price prediction. So started at 25 cents. Okay, currently it's sitting at $2, which is 8 times. So it's gone up 800% in 2.5 months. Okay, even despite the big dip and all, this is still a remarkable progress. Okay, I actually think that maybe it's a bit overvalued at the moment because I don't see what they have done so far. They've taken on a few projects. A couple of them have released ICOs, but the price of a platform generally goes up the more applications are on that platform. Okay, something like Ether. That's why Ether is very big, very solid. There isn't that kind of volume on Dragonchain yet, not enough to account for 800% growth. So I think it's a little bit overvalued now. Now, if there was nothing else happening on their roadmap in March, April, May, June, I might predict that the price would fall. In this case, I'm not entirely sure because they got a lot of things coming in March, and they didn't say which time in March. If it came in early March, which is only a couple of weeks away, then the price actually doesn't have much time to fall because it's just going to pick up momentum with the news and everything, and then we might not see it falling. It might just rise from here on. Okay, in the long term, I expect Dragonchain by the end of this year to be worth a lot more than what it is worth now. Okay, if you consider its current market cap is 477, let's say it's 480 million. Okay, at the current market cap. Now, blockchain platforms is a very lucrative business in cryptocurrency. Okay, about half of the top 10 are all different sorts of blockchain platforms. All right, and a lot of the top 50 coins are blockchain platforms essentially. Okay, because there is such a big demand for people to coming into the blockchain that want to develop their projects, that they just need platforms to build them on. So even if you're not the best platform, okay, there's so much business that there's enough for everyone to have a piece of the pie. And already they have shown that they've got 400 applicants, so they're really going to be busy for the next 1 to 3 years already. Okay. Now, again, no, as the platform price rises, the number of projects, so as the number of projects increases on the platform, the price will rise, and also will the stability of the price. That's why Ether is so stable. If I went to do an average, okay, of the top 50 of all the platforms in the top 50 cryptocurrencies, and I got the average market cap, which works out to be 2.73 billion. Now, I think that Dragonchain can be considered at least an average blockchain platform by the end of this year, when everything's up and they are up and running on Amazon Web Service, etc. Okay, they even if you don't think they will be outstanding, they might be outstanding, but even if you don't think they are, you would have at least to concede that they would at least be an average blockchain platform, which would put their value at 2.73 billion in this very low market cap at the moment. The current market cap for the whole market is sitting at just over $500 billion, right? Predictions for end of the year, as I said before, from multiple different sources, even conservative estimates is anywhere between 1 trillion to 1.5 trillion. So then we expect the entire crypto market to go up to 2 to 3 times its current pricing. But ignoring the fact that it may be an outstanding thing, okay, it would still average 2.73 billion market cap, which is 5.8 times what its current market cap is, which is 580% rise from its current value. So I think that moving forward as a blockchain platform, Dragonchain targeted a very niche community, a very niche clientele that none of the other platforms will address to at this point in time. So I think they've gotten in early enough. I see a lot of potential in this, and I think now is a good time to buy. Personally, this is not professional advice, it's just my advice for myself, my own thoughts, my own journey, and I just thought I'd share it with you. So basically, that's my take on Dragonchain. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you like this video, please remember to drop us a like and a subscribe. It will really go a long way in helping us to build this channel. And we are aiming to build this channel into one of the best crypto news channel out there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.